And I will say, marriages in general, especially when you know when the vows are authentic and you see the honest reactions and the crying and the emotions, it can be very powerful and it can be very nurturing to be around. Depending on what you've experienced and what you've gone through, like seeing two people very happy and in the moment, it was really great to see. And I know there were some talks about, when am I going to get married? When am I going to do this? I know me and my girlfriend, we have our own timeline for things, and we're just going to take our time day in and day out. But one of the things I learned through that weekend is we all have different timelines for things. And I know I've talked about this sometimes on this podcast, but it's really important because it raises your sense of awareness. Like, we all have our timelines for when we accomplish things. For some people, they get right into school right after, they get their dream job by 30 and they're ready to go. For some people, they have kids early, right? And they learn how to parent early. For some people, they go to school late and they get their PhD late, like one of the persons I interviewed. So my point is that we can get in our heads at times with, oh, like by 25 or oh, by 30, I need to have this, this, and this together. But there's no real clear cut answer into what you want to be or what you want to do with your life. You are in full control of it. If you want to have kids later in life, you can have kids later in life. If you want to get your PhD early, you can get your PhD early. If you start in a trade and then want to go back to school, you're more than welcome to do that. There's no shame, there's no negativity when it comes to you trying to do what's best for yourself at the end of the day. So just remind yourself that we are all on our own timelines for things. You will eventually get to your end goal. It's just sometimes it might not turn out the way that you want it to be right away. There's going to be some bumps and bruises, right? But that's the thing that you need to learn. And that's something that I realized while I was with my sister over the weekend, that weekend. And because now she's married, she has two kids, she's in her early 20s. Like, she's learning how to parent very young versus myself. Like, I'm older, I'm 25 years old. I'm not even thinking about having kids yet. I am not ready to have kids yet. I've been around kids all my life, so I know what to do, but I know in terms of the responsibility of being in school and also trying to raise a child, I know for myself mentally right now, I am not in that headspace. So that is something that might be a different chapter that I will get into later in life, if the opportunity presents itself. So my whole point in this conversation again is just to have you guys just think about, okay, like, and this is something we're going to talk about as we get into retrogrades too. Like, when something's in retrograde or you're going through moments where you are learning something new or a new perspective is thrown at you, take some time to reflect. Ask yourself, what did I learn from this experience? So that way, you're raising your awareness, you're raising your IQ, you're raising your sense of self. Okay, what is it that I want? And that way you can start getting on that journey to finding what you want.